Along with the Fallen mode rework, the Golden Soldier got a huge buff, greatly improving his stats, value, and nearly doubling his DPS at max level. In this video, I'll be going over all the stat changes for every single level and take a close look at its uses, capabilities, and overall value to give my personal ranking of how good it is. But real quick, check out my Corso Plushie. It's really cute and I love how it turned out, and it's most definitely not evil. Consider checking it out from the link in the description, and now let's get started with the video. To begin, at level 0, its placement cost was increased from 475 to 500, and it can still be placed on the first wave. Its damage was halved from 2 to 1, its fire rate was halved from 0.2 to 0.1, its range was increased from 13 to 14, its burst was increased from 3 to 4, its burst cooldown decreased from 1.2 to 0.75, and its DPS went from 3.34 to 3.48. At level 1, its total cost increased from 600 to 650, and its damage was halved from 2 to 1, its fire rate was reduced from 0.15 to 0.08, its range was decreased from 16 to 14, its burst was increased from 3 to 4, its burst cooldown was halved from 1.2 to 0.6, and its DPS went from 3.64 to 4.35. At level 2, its total cost increased from 1,350 to 1,450, its damage went from 3 to 2, its fire rate was reduced from 0.15 to 0.08, its burst was decreased from 5 to 4, its burst cooldown was halved from 1.2 to 0.6, and its DPS went from 7.7 to 8.7. At level 3, its total cost was increased from 2,500 to 3,000, its damage was decreased from 5 to 4, its fire rate was decreased from 0.1 to 0.08, its burst was increased from 8 to 20, which is insane, and its DPS went from 20.03 to 28.6. Finally, at level 4, its total cost increased from 8,000 to 12,000 cash, its fire rate decreased from 0.076 to 0.06, its burst increased from 12 to 30, and its DPS went from 56.8 to 100. So there are some crazy changes to this tower, most notably being its DPS and price. At max level, its DPS was almost doubled, now standing at a whopping 100. That's higher than a normal minigunner. It has a value of 8.33 DPS per 1k spent at max level, which is extraordinary. For reference, the max minigunner only has a value of 4.65. That's basically half as good. This means the Golden Soldier is all of a sudden a great late game option. It has no placement limit, so theoretically, if you got 40 max Golden Soldiers, that's a DPS of 4,000. That is actually really solid, and while I wouldn't recommend just placing Golden Soldiers, you can use it to fill in any remaining towers you have. It's both a sub DPS and early game tower, making it very unique in how you can use it. This gives you the opportunity to bring an additional support tower or just more DPS if you want. Unfortunately, it did get a little worse in the early game. You can no longer get a level 1 Golden Soldier on the first wave, as it now costs 650 cash total instead of 600. In the new reworked Fallen mode, a level 0 Golden Soldier lasts until wave 4, and level 1 lasts until wave 4 as well. Fallen mode is a lot harder now, so for comparison, 3 level 0 Golden Scouts also only last until wave 4, so the Golden Soldier seems to still be really good in the early game. Its increased DPS also means it's easier to transition using this tower, as you can basically just place and upgrade Golden Soldiers and do fine. Because it has hidden and flying detection, it can deal with any threat in Fallen mode, so spamming this tower isn't necessarily a bad strategy. But again, there are other towers with more DPS, so I recommend only using it as a sub DPS. Overall, this tower is now insanely good. It can be used as a great early game tower, yet still be an option for late game DPS with absolutely amazing value at max level. I'm gonna rank it as an S tier, however I admit I haven't had much time to test it, so it may not turn out to be as overpowered as I believe. Regardless, let me know in the comments down below how you would rank this tower, and if you think it deserved these buffs. And if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to join the Blue Head Mafia. Also, if you want to talk to me, consider checking out my Discord. We got some pretty cool features, like a custom party finder bot that will automatically pair you up with other people who are trying to do the same strategy. There's a link to the server pinned in the comments. And finally, I want to give a huge shout out to these channel members for supporting my content. If you want to add me as a friend on Roblox or get early access to some of my videos, consider becoming a channel member. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.